Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. This is a uh, pamphlet that I got, or small book that I got from the Museum of Modern Art here in New York many years ago. I can tell from the price it's $8.95, so that was quite some time ago. This is a book by Frank Stella called The Circus Prince. And as you know, Frank Stella is an American artist, and he is a trailblazer in many respects. And I was attracted to this piece. It's a screen print, a combination of screen print, woodcut, and engraving. So this is like a printmaker's, how would I say, a printmaker's tour de force, where you combine all these different disciplines and create this print. Now, I do like the color combinations and all the activity on it. I will admit I find it really busy, but Frank Stella has been an inspiration to me for many, many years, ever since his days as a minimalist artist. So I'm going to take this piece called Pergusa 3 Double, done in 1984, and use it as an inspiration piece for my next composition. Okay, so based on the original, there are a lot of background lines. So I'm going to do my own interpretation by just going to put some random curved lines. By the way, this is acrylic paint pen. So this is the cheaper cousin of Posca. And since I have it, I thought I should use it. It does the job. Okay. And some red. Somehow the red is not as effective. That's okay. This is just a preliminary layer of marks. If they show up, fine. If not, that's okay too. It's all experimental. And as you know by now, I'm not afraid to experiment because that's how I learn. And the best teacher is to learn by your mistakes. Okay, now since this is an acrylic marker pen, it is water-based, so I need to let this dry first before I apply a second layer of paint. So I'm going to use my desk fan to speed things up. Okay, now the acrylic marker has dried, so I am going to start applying the main background color, which is yellow. And then some of this vermilion on the edges. And some touches of green. It's going to be quite a colorful piece. And here are my brand new brayers, newly cleaned and oiled. Okay, I'm being good now in soaking my brayers in the tub of water. And again, I'm going to add my little scribbles here and there. And this is my cold press watercolor paper. Now, since I'm trying to pick up the marks of the acrylic pen, I'm going to leave this for about 5-6 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. Let's see what we got. There's some slight tears here, very small. I think the result is pretty wild. Looks like a circus print. Check this out. It's very much like a lithograph. Now, I think this will make a great first layer. So I'm going to air dry this and then move on to the next step. Okay, so here is my tub of reusable stencils, and I'm going to arrange them on the plate. As you can see, they don't clean up all the time. But I do the best I can. Okay. So I'm trying to balance the round shapes, or the rounded shapes and the vertical shapes. And I do have a lot of these smaller pieces as fillers. Now, even if they're really tiny, they do expose what's underneath, so I think they're important. They're just a pain to keep track of because they're so little. So there's nothing glamorous about the creative process. It's all very hands-on. And you shouldn't be afraid to get your hands dirty, or anything dirty for that matter. Okay. I think I have. Let me check if I still, oh, here they are. I have all these tiny pieces. I'm putting them in. I might regret it, but what the hell. Okay. So now, according to my inspiration piece, there is a little bit of teal and a little bit of light blue. So the light blue will be Arctic. This is all clogged up. And the rest will be teal. Or turquoise, I'm sorry. I'm beginning to see the benefit of having clean brayers. They really move very smoothly and quietly. They're a pleasure to use. Now I've gotten quite a few pieces of advice from viewers to offload my brayer. That's a good idea. It prevents the paint from building up too much. And I am guilty of using too much paint most of the time. Okay. I think I got them all. I'll find out when I pull the print. Okay. So here is this very colorful first layer. Okay, makes me think of a circus. I'm going to overlap this with a blue layer. going to see what the effect is going to be. I almost forgot I have to soak my brayer in a tub. These old habits are hard to break. Okay. It's a slight misregistration, but that's okay. It's pretty wild. So this gets air dried, and I will think about the next step. Now this is such a nice looking ghost. I'd hate to waste it. So let me see. Here's some unbleached titanium. Some turquoise, and let me put a little touch of yellow. Actually, by soaking the brayer in a tub, it's already cleaned itself. Again, I will add my own marks here, just a series of circles. So I will leave that while I rinse out my brayer. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see what we have. It's a very summery kind of combination. Okay, I'll go on to the next step after this dries. Okay, here I am at the third segment. I'm going to apply a third layer, and I'm going to use an oil resist, and this is a mix of baby oil and Vaseline. So I'm going to do a series of circles. Some lines here. Okay. Now I'm not sure this will work. This is purely experimental, like everything else. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm going to use phthalo blue on the top and the bottom. And some green oxide in the middle. So let's see how this works out. So here is the piece with the second layer. So I'm hoping this dark layer will cut down on the brightness of the turquoise, give it some contrast. Whoa. It's pretty intense. I may have overdone it with the texture, but I'll see what the next step is going to be. But in the meantime, I will air dry this. Going to see if that will work with this piece. Before I do that, Let's see what we have here. It's very painterly effect. It's pretty wild. So get to air dry this and then move on to the next step. Okay, I am going to place a third layer, and I'm going to use an iridescent white. I'm going to try to counteract the, here, let me show you. Now this is the oil resist. Now I find the oil resist texture very interesting, but I want to counterbalance it with a web, like a veil of white, so there will be some depth. I want to create a foreground and a background. I want this to recede into the background and the white will come forward. So let me get my iridescent white. So here is some silver. And this is metallic pearl. And hopefully this will provide the contrast that I'm looking for. So this is the benefit of soaking the brayer in a tub right away. See how clean this is? Okay, so let's see what happens with this. Okay. Quite a difference. I like that. I think the white veil kind of counteracts the very busy background and provides some interest. I think I'm going to stop here and call this one done. Now I'm going to see if I can make use of this ghost. And see if it will work with this. Oh, it does add something. I think I knocked this over. Okay. So I will let both of these dry and recap. Okay, everybody, this has dried nicely. There's even some spots that look like oil paint because it's very thick. So I'm going to apply a final layer. I think it needs some kind of additional structure because I feel that something is missing. I can't explain it, but I arranged my reusable stencils, and I'm going to apply hopefully a final layer. I think I'm going to do a copper on top of this. So this is my acrylic metallic copper. And combine it with some phthalo blue. Again, I'm going to have my tub here on the side, so when I finish rolling, I'm just going to place it immediately in the tub. So this is a very free form kind of color mix. Just making sure my fingers are clean. Okay, so here is the piece with the red markings. No, I don't know exactly what the result is going to be. This is going to be a surprise to me. But this is one of those instances where I feel like the print needs something, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Okay, let's see what we have here. Yep, it's quite a transformation. I love it. Yep, this is what I was looking for. Check this out. I didn't know what it needed, but it needed something to make it cohesive. And I think the phthalo blue and the copper pulls everything together, gives it some strength, if that's the right word. It's tough to explain something that's visual in words. And very often I'm at a loss for the right word. But that's why it's a different language, a visual language. And sometimes it doesn't translate well. But here it is. And I'm really thrilled with this result. Usually the ghost print comes out much better than the original or the intended piece. It's almost like an accidental gift. So I will air dry this and then recap with both prints. Okay, everybody, this is the favorite part, my favorite part of this video. This is when I get to show you the finished product and compare it to the inspiration piece. And so in a while I'm going to put the inspiration piece right next to this, but before I do that I will show you a close-up. So this is the texture done by the oil resist, and it's a very overall texture. As you can see, traces of the marker pens, and it's quite an elaborate and highly textured surface. Now I think the texture is more a function of the paper because the brayers have just been cleaned. So I don't think it's the brayers that make the texture. Okay. So I'm going to push this aside and compare it with the original. So it's my interpretation of the Frank Stella print. And I believe that when you interpret someone's work, you pick the aspects that you are attracted to, but at the same time, it's very necessary to make it your own and not to copy it. Okay, so that's it for the first print. Now here's the second print, which I am excited about. Because in a way it's a surprise outcome. Here's a close-up. I like the interaction of the red brushwork. It's really in the background, so it gets intertwined with these other elements. Let me show you the So there you have it. A print session inspired by the work of Frank Stella, who has influenced me greatly over the years. And if you do have a chance to see his work in person, I strongly recommend that you go see it, whether it's a painting or a print or a piece of sculpture. It is very impressive. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.